Hey everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm your host, Mad Morgan, and I'm just here to say, hey, welcome back. This is our new invention, our new rendition, our new show called Are You Listening? Catchy title, eh? Are You Listening? That's what we decided to name this podcast, which we basically figured we'd throw out there and just be, open-ended on. I'm not throwing it out there for everybody to know about. It's kind of like you want to speak out to the world, but you don't want everybody to know what you're saying, especially your mom. This show is about me. It's about me. It is about my ideas, my thoughts, open freely, everything else. And I'm just going to, I want to introduce a few things. As I said, my name is Mad Morgan, and I've been at this for a bit, the whole social media thing, and trying to save the world has been a lifelong quest. People watching, trying to understand the world, trying to understand human nature. It's been interesting, but rather than sit back with my thumb up my butt and not do anything, I had to figure out, what can I do to change the world? What can I do to have a voice? I'm not going to do something dramatic. I'm not going to blow up something. I'm not going to stand, on a mountain and yell at things and all that. I mean, no, you have to figure out how you get your voice out and not get a lot of backlash from a lot of people. You want them to listen, but if they don't agree with you, you don't want to deal with their BS. It's just the reality of it. You don't want to deal with their BS. You got enough BS to deal with in your life. Why would you want to deal with other people's BS? It just doesn't make sense. So, what do? I've tried videos. I'm not that pretty for videos anymore. I'm not too pretty to put myself in front of a camera anymore, but I've been told I have a great voice because I use it every single day. I use it for my work. I use it to communicate with people. So I'm like, let's make a podcast. Why not? I can make websites. I've been making websites for well over 20 years. Whether or not somebody reads is a different story. And I'm not going to spend an arm and a leg to advertise a website for why? I'm digging myself a hole. I'm already digging myself a hole with doing podcasts and my media and stuff like that, because it takes a while for things to catch on. And speaking of which, if you want to help us out, please check out themadmorgan.com/support. Yes, themadmorgan.com/support. Okay, and we're not talking the word slash, we're putting the // from the bottom left to the top right corner. You'll get what I mean. Otherwise, you could find some links on themadmorgan.com main webpage, go from there. So yeah, I'm digging a hole. I am. This is coming out of my pocket, my time, my expenditures. I'm not looking to be rich. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm not looking for anything else but trying to make a change in this world. That's it. That's all. I don't care about attention. I don't care about all that BS, but I don't want to have the regrets down in life where I didn't do anything. I really don't. Because there's a lot of crap in this world. A lot of shitty people. A lot of really twisted ways of thinking and doing things in this world. Some people just dropped on their heads as kids, I think, because they have really twisted ways of thinking. And the biggest thing that I find that's really annoying is that people don't realize that, it's like a famous saying I've always said, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. So if you keep repeating the same shit that other people do in previous generations, you're going to have the same results. You're not going to have a different result. And you might not have the exact results that they have. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's just right place, right time. I mean, there's so many factors that go into that. And then you got to keep in mind nurture versus nature. There's a lot of stuff that's nature, that's just natural. It's instinctive. But I think we would have evolved. I think we've evolved to the point where we're not just all about the natural instinctive of things. We should be intelligent enough in 2023, for Christ's sakes. Excuse my language if I offended anybody, but seriously, it's 2023. Say it with me one time. It is 2023. Why are we still not rationally being able to figure out certain things? And people might say, well, this is just from your viewpoint and your experience. And I'm like, okay, but I've seen people pull themselves out of different situations and just don't start looking at the obvious, stupid, closed-minded, ignorant, obvious things and use that as an excuse for why your life isn't the way it is and why you can't do certain things. And woe's me, my life is so bad. Now, look, I'm going to narrow this down here. I'm going to start this off because basically what episode 1 today is going to be about is, you know what? Here's my deal. Here's what I'm all about. This is what Are You Listening is about. Are you actually listening. And I want to know if you're listening, who you've tuned, you that tuned in today. I just want to know if beyond you has tuned in, and not just of this world. I want to know if outside of this world, visitors, hidden people, hidden visitors from other places. Yeah, I know I'm a little crazy on that one, but I want to know if, I know we've been visited. I know we're still have people that are from, or creatures, beings, whatever you want to call them, are from other planets that are here. Are you listening? Because I got lots to say that you could probably learn from too. So are you listening is basically it. Are you listening also to anybody? Are you listening to sound advice? Are you listening to sources? Are you truly listening and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do things differently. So let's just in this episode 1, this is narrow down, of course. What exactly is this about? Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say this. I do not care where you're from, how good of a tan you have, your culture or this or that, your religious beliefs. I do not, as they say, give a rat's ass. Okay? I don't care about any of that. You want to flex, you want to front, you want to do all that. I don't know what kind of slang you want to use, but whatever the case may frickin' be, everybody, for the most part, is the same. Okay? What I mean by for the most part is the same is there's a difference between normal thinking, logical-minded people, and of course your psychopaths. Psychopaths could find a deep hole and put them in there. But down to your average person, there's logical-minded, which are somewhat enlightened, and of course there's your ignorance that are just stupidity because they haven't learned a better way. But again, I don't care how good your tan is, your culture, your religion, or anything like that. If you are a good person, if you live a good life, if you treat others well and with respect and vice versa, just be a good person. Be a good person, do the right thing, don't hurt anybody else, don't take from anybody else, have some integrity. Like I've asked in other shows, how is your integrity today? If you can do all that, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. And that's all anybody should care about. It shouldn't matter anything else about you, how you look or anything like that. That's irrelevant. That should be freaking irrelevant. It is your actions that should matter. That is what should matter. For me, that's what matters. So don't start calling me a racist bastard because I'll bitch slap you upside the head. Yeah, I will. I'm far from being racist. I judge a person by their character, by their actions, and their integrity. That is what I judge a person by. It has nothing to do with sex, religion, customs, skin tone, nothing like that. I think those are bullshit cop-out excuses for anything. Anything. And if you're going to throw that crap out there, okay, and if somebody's too ignorant and holds you down because of that, well, that's their wrong. But when I'm speaking to you, and I'll tell you one thing, when I'm speaking to you on this podcast, I'm speaking to you as the individual, and I'm going to go with the assumption that you're level-headed, logically, and intelligent, that you can be open-minded enough to not get hung up on all that BS and actually truly open your mind and listen. Because what I'm going to say in these episodes moving forward is going to be profound. It's going to be enlightening. It's going to be from my viewpoints on my research and my perspective on how I view the world, which not everybody's going to agree with. I understand that. I understand that not everybody's going to agree with that. And I'm fine with that. And that's whatever. Agree with me, don't agree with me, fine. But you know what? I will give you a forum. I will make a forum. I will give you an opportunity for you to express yourself and share your views. But don't come at me with violence. Don't come at me with harsh words. Don't come at me like you're all cool, calm, and collected and got it all down pat. It's either you're hiding behind a microphone or you got a weapon in your hand because you're too chicken shit. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't need that stuff. If you're going to come to the table and share your views, you're going to do it of sound mind, no violence, no harshness. You're going to throw the facts out there and we're going to debate them. We're going to talk about them. But the rest of that stuff, save it to impress your friends. Save it to impress anybody else that gives a crap, because I don't, okay? I'm here to exchange ideas to make the world a better place. Because my goal is to have a voice to speak out, to actually help enlighten people and help them out of their ignorance. And together, collectively, the more people that listen to this and implement this, the world can be a better place. Think about it. Would you want to go and have to do your drugs or sell your drugs or whatever in order to get by? Or would you like to have a happy life? Would you like to be stuck on a substance that you feel you need to cope Or would you like to be able to have a meaningful life where you actually do something that leaves an impact positively on the world? Do you want to make excuses or do you want to find solutions? That's what I'm saying, okay? Don't say because you were caught up in a world and you were born in a certain world, in a certain family, a certain neighborhood, whatever shit you want to throw out there as being the reason why you can't do something, I call BS. I have seen people from the level of dirt pull themselves out of that and become very successful. Not helping hands, no, like, being given a free ride. No, this is people that actually were in the gutter from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different whatever excuses you want to throw out there. I've seen people pull themselves out of there and be successful, and more successful than me, more successful than a lot of people I know. These people have done it. You can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. It's the drive and the perseverance and not giving up. You can do it. Okay. So I want to get that out of the way. If I say something that's okay, I'm sorry, it's not politically correct. Well, you know what? Suck it up and use some logic on that one. I don't say stuff to be harmful. I don't say stuff to be disrespectful. I don't say stuff to be, against anybody. I'm talking generalized, and I'm not talking focusing on, anything but the actions and words I'm experiencing. That's it. So moving forward, not to be long-winded on this one, before you start barking and, getting all puffed up chest and everything else, getting on the defensive, just think about the fact that my viewpoints, myself, Mad Morgan, is going to be all logic flow. I'm going to present the facts. I'm going to present my views, and you're welcome to rebuttal on that. And you're welcome to share yours. But as soon as you step out of line and start getting ignorant and aggressive and, name calling and uncalled for kind of behavior that's uncivilized, bye-bye. We don't need you. Take it to somebody who cares, because we don't. Okay, so I want to lay that out there. It has nothing to do with anything but your actions and your words. And that's all I want to hear about, You cannot say everybody from certain place and whatever is going to be all the same. It's not the case, because I know in every walks of life, there's going to be the good, there's going to be the bad. What was it? I heard a psychologist said to me once that out of every 100 or so people, there's one psychopath. Unfortunately, the psychopaths are the non-empathetic people that frankly have some wiring loose. Something's wrong with their wiring. It's just not there. There's a short in the wiring. I'm going to say some stuff that people might not agree with. It's like, oh, that's violent and that's wrong. I'm sorry, but what's the point of having these people around? Can you rewire them to set them straight? They're a bad element. They're a fly in the ointment that's basically just making it difficult for the rest of us. Because let's be honest, think about how much further we would be if we could live our lives. Think about the bright minds that have been held back because of insecurity, okay? Think about that person that has brilliant ideas, that makes changes to the world, to fix the environment, to fix society, to fix the political scheme, to end war and everything else. So you have these brainiacs that are just amazing thinking about all this stuff, but they want to go out to the store at 3 a.m. to get a snack, but they're stunted by fear. Their thought process is put on hold. Fight or flight type scenario. They're worried about, the mugger around the corner. They're worried about the person's probably going to stab them or steal from them or whatever the case may be. They're worried about their own safety for doing such a simple task of going out as going to the store for a snack. And then they're fear for their lives going there. They fear for their lives coming back. They could try to be optimistic, saying, oh, it's not going to happen. Everything's good. But there's still that little nagging voice in the back of their head. Now, they've had to have this whole ordeal for such a simple, pleasurable experience like going to a corner store at 3 a.m. And they've had to put their thought process on hold. And then when they get back, they have to recover from all that, which takes a while for their thought processes and their brilliant minds to kick back up again. Now, this might sound like an extreme measure, but the reality is, if you keep having these scenarios that you're concerned about walking out your front door because of some idiot that's going to harm you or hurt you or take from you, and you have to keep kickstarting your thought process rather than keep it going, be footloose and fancy free. It's kind of like, a ball gets rolling, but then it stopped. And it gets rolling, and then it stopped. And if you keep doing the rolling and stopping, it's made it about 1/10 of the distance it could have if it was allowed to keep going. So if we can actually have a world that's safe, if we can have a world where you don't have to think about where your next meal is coming from, or the roof over your head, or your bill's going to get paid, or all that stuff like that, think about how those brilliant minds can actually advance the point of bringing us as a society and as human species to the next level. Let's be honest, we've been stunted for the last 100 years. Absolutely been stunted for the last 100 years. We've been put on a standstill. And I have a lot of different reasons, which I'll discuss in episodes. But I think there's a lot of reasons why we are stunted where we're at. We're not as technologically advanced as we think we are. Our medical field sucks, not from the lack of the healthcare workers, but just because, again, things have come up, the resources have not been there, and so they've been burnt out. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're not getting anywhere fast. Like, it's not happening, but we should be further along the medical field. We should have cures for certain things that we don't, or maybe we do have cures, it's just not profitable. And then let's get into that topic right there. What about money? Root of all evil. Money should be abolished. I'm sorry, but social levels should be abolished. There should be no rich. There should be no poor. There should be no middle class. Call me a Trekkie, because I am. The thing is that I believe everybody should be provided for. Everybody contributes. Everybody's provided for. End of story. There's no keeping score. There's none of this BS. I'm not saying sports shouldn't have scores and everybody gets a participation trophy. No, I'm saying that life should not be about scores. Life should be about providing the resources for everybody and helping them become the best that they possibly can be. We would eliminate crime. We would eliminate illegal trades. We would eliminate so many of the bad things that make up the world if we abolished money, if we abolished social standings, if we abolished all that crap. But again, that's going to be for more episodes moving down the road. So what I wanted to sum up with, I know it's not really summing up because I'm being long-winded here, but what I wanted to do is just in this first episode is introduce you to what we're going to talk about moving forward and the whole goal of it. Now, are you listening? Maybe you are, and maybe you're not. But one thing I've learned about being in social media for a while is eventually everybody gets discovered. Because once they sorted through all that popular crap that's been hyper friggin' advertised and hyper produced and hyper publicized by publicists and publishing companies, eventually people drill down to what's real. Like our show, like our podcast. I mean, there's so much fakeness out there that's been pushed in your face, shoved down your throat for you to believe. For everything from celebrities and, talentless idiots like Drake, who can't sing to save his life, but he has a great publicist. Kudos to his publicist, as an example in the music industry, and a bunch of other so-called artists. Those are people that, frankly, have just been publicized like there's no tomorrow and rammed down your throat as being, that they're a superstar, which is BS. Same with the media. Same with politics. Same with stuff you read online, social media, videos, TikTok, for Christ's sakes, is the worst. This is all stuff that's rammed down your throat for you to supposedly believe, that you're supposed to believe it because it's true. It's on repeat. Everybody's copying it, repasting it, reposting it, and everything else, ramming it down your throat. You don't know what to believe anymore, but that's where we come into here. This is where we come in. Because we want to pull back the curtains. We want to clear away the clutter. We want to actually help you see what the truth is out there on a lot of things, help rewire your thinking, help you understand that there's better ways to go about doing stuff, put away the myths, put away all this other BS. And we're talking for all levels, all ages, all levels, all walks of life. I, myself, Mad Morgan, want to help you get to where you want to be to live a more fulfilled, happy life. End of story. End of story. Because I'm seeing this from a lot of different angles. And yeah, I know I'm not conventional. I know I don't have, a walk the walk that the majority of them do, but that's what makes my perspective interesting in that regards. Because I'm actually looking at the benefit of everybody, not just the individual. I'm looking at the benefit of everybody. I'm looking at the world as a whole going, hey, you know what? We can do things better. And here's how we can do it. But everybody's got to get on board. And that's the whole point. Everybody's got to get on board. We all have to do it. We all have to pitch in. We all have to try to change the way we think. Am I an expert? No. But I have 50 years behind me, speaking from experience, sitting back, watching all the crap that's going on, going, yeah, you know what? If we did it this way, it would work out a lot better. But everybody needs to be individual. Everybody has to be noticed. Everything else, fine. Keep your pity party, keep your fashion show, keep your looking to impress everybody else to yourself. I don't care. I'm looking at the people that want to make a better world, the people that want to get out of their ignorance, the people that want to improve, the people that want to move forward. Because, as I said, if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we always got. I've proven that time and time again. As soon as you change the pattern, the the results change as well. I know that. For those of you that are enlightened enough to experience that yourself, know that, but you have to make the hard decisions. Otherwise, you're killing time until you're dead. That's it. And if you don't break the trend, the next generation is going to make the same mistakes, and so on and so forth. And we're not getting anywhere as a society. We're not getting anywhere as a species. So something to think about. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm hoping I covered a lot of the basis of this. I might retouch on this and for future episodes. And hey, if you're tuning in and you're listening, great. I know there's like a few dozen shows that go by the same name. So what? I'm not spending any more money than I already spend each month. Upwards of $100 out of my own pocket each month. And I'm a working person that works hard and everything else and has other money places that money can go to. The thing is that I don't want to have that regrets as my years go on of not trying to do something to make the world better, not trying to make a change. That is why I'm here. I don't care about fortune or fame or anything else. I'm doing it for the message. I'm doing it to make the world better. Because frankly, if I can have any effect on the advancements of scientists and health and like the overall betterment of the world, then guess what? I'll reach my goals, which is basically live 1,000 years to see whether or not human nature gets it right or humankind gets it right. I would like to live a long time and have a lot of different experiences and meet species from other planets. I would like to, know what the meaning of heaven and earth is. I'd like to know the meaning of so many different things that I've questioned over the years, but I want more time to do it. But first and foremost, I have to fix the earth. I have to fix the planet, and I need help and everybody else to help as well. Yeah, call me crazy. Call me a crackpot. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. But what are you doing? Before you start criticizing me and my mission, what are you doing to make the world a better place? Are you just talking out of your ass and shaking your fists and being a complete idiot? Or are you actually productively doing anything? Yeah. So before you start talking out of your ass and start saying bad things about me and I'm a crackpot and everything else, what are you actually doing? Because this is what I'm doing at my expense and my time. Whether or not you listen, hey, are you listening? Maybe you are. Maybe you aren't, but maybe you'll get on board with me on this. And maybe you'll listen to all our episodes moving forward. Our next episode, and you'll contribute and you'll give some feedback and constructive feedback. And we'll together collectively as a community, influence for better change for the world for everybody. Safety, security, providing for food in your stomach, roof over your head. We all get along. We all communicate. We all just live in harmony as a big world community. Some people are like, yeah, you're living a pipe dream. No, actually, I think it can be done. Just people got to get the thumbs out of their asses, their head out of their asses, and stop being so damn ignorant. Seriously. All right. That's about it. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Please, any support you can give me, check out themadmorgan.com. Also, themadmorgan.com/support if you can have any financial support, any assistance. I'm also going to make a forums. I'm still putting the format together of the website. Bear with me on that one because I'm wrapping up other projects and trying to focus everything centrally on the main website of themadmorgan.com. That's the one we're going to keep. So if you listen to our other podcasts and our other shows and our other video content and everything, everything's going to be centralized at themadmorgan.com because I can't keep registering domains. It's too expensive every year. So themadmorgan.com is going to be a central hub. Everything will link off from there. Check it out. Hey, other than that, again, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. As I've always said in the past, how is your integrity today? I hope moving forward, be the best you can be. Keep your integrity in check. Moving forward, as I said, this is episode 1 of Are You Listening? I look forward to seeing you to episode 2 and beyond that point. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you next episode.